For Complex News, I'm Natasha Martinez. It has been almost a month into the new year, and already we are realizing that 2020 came back disguised as 2021. New year, same crap. Now, it continues to be hard to keep our mental health calm when people decide to forget that we are still very much in the midst of a global pandemic. Listen, we are all over it. We all would love to socialize, and we all love to do our part to help our local businesses stay afloat. Yet, we still find ourselves in a lockdown, and there's a huge part of the young community who is just not having it anymore, thus bringing about the underground party scene. Surprisingly, nightlife is still going strong in a number of major cities, but it's happening illegally in COVID hubs like Los Angeles and New York. At the time of this report, LA is at 1 million cases and over 15,000 deaths. According to the LA Director of Health Services, Dr. Christina Galli, mortuaries across the county are filling up and are having trouble making space. This is causing a backup of dead bodies in several facilities, and it's forcing authorities to come up with alternative storage options. But even as bodies pile up in the morgues, bodies are still packing into the clubs. Upcoming rapper LILDEATHSTAR has been steady partying and holding performances, and he feels like he shouldn't let the pandemic stop his hustle. So moshing with the Rona wasn't like a scary thing for you?
What? I don't know. I'll mosh with some damn Rona. I go by the name of LILDEATHSTAR. I'm an independent hip hop artist. Been making music for probably like going on 3 years now. Recently moved to LA and just been soaking everything in. And it's just literally been a movie since I got here. Pandemic or no pandemic, it's still shaking up me.
As an artist who is really working to kind of grow his audience and kind of get in front of more people, how much did the COVID shutdown affect you?
It did have its effect. Sometimes with the shows, like cops will come and just like shut it down. I mean, if we're like too loud or like too obvious and stuff like that. But like, if you're really about your shit, like you're not gonna let nothing stop you, you feel me? So like, I'm a darling and dream type of dude. So like, I don't think it slowed me down. Like I still, where there's a will, there's a way type shit.
How do those get planned? Is there like a secret like text thread, forum, like passwords? Like what is the underground, I guess, so to speak, illegal party scene like? Like how does that happen? Are you familiar with that?
I mean, I can't give away the secret sauce, but if you know, you know. You know what I mean? You just gotta, as with anything for the most part, like you just gotta know the right people and just be in communication with the right people.
The inner workings of LA's modern prohibition era over the New Year's Eve holiday was detailed by LA Mag's Cerise Caste. She described warehouse parties in downtown LA, similar to the ones LILDEATHSTAR coyly addressed in our interview. One of the more prominent organizers of these underground clubs is a group called Les Disco Nights. For their New Year's Eve celebration, the invite was spread via a mass text. Once people got to the address, the password phrase, "Do you know where the post office is?" was required to be shown where the actual venue was. According to Caste, by the time midnight came around, there were already packs of people waiting outside to join the couple of hundred who were already partying. They were unmasked, of course, and so far they have dodged little to no law enforcement interaction.
Just skedaddle. The police showed up, then they said we can keep partying, and then they came inside like 20 minutes later, and everybody ran away.
How has law enforcement been treating some of these gatherings that you've been at?
I mean, for the most part, like smooth. Like I don't really see no one getting arrested or nothing like that, from what I've seen. But yeah, like I'll never forget, I was at this crazy ass fashion show like a week ago. It was a fashion show. It was huge and it was like this big ass warehouse. And then the cops ended up coming and shutting it down. So like they'll just kind of just like be like, yeah, shut it down, everyone leave, and then we just gotta just leave.
No real arrests happening.
Nah, they're not like slamming bodies to the floor or nothing like that. Like they're just like, yeah, go home. Like
Not everyone has been able to dodge the authorities, though. Earlier this month, the LA Sheriff's Department arrested 182 people after shutting down 2 super spreader events. Large crowds awaited their citations, some wearing masks and some not. Sheriff Alex Villanueva made it clear that the Super Spreader Task Force will be seeking and taking law enforcement action against all underground party events occurring anywhere within Los Angeles County. The LA Party Society is a club also in downtown Los Angeles that has been operating illegally without licenses and permits throughout the stay-at-home orders. Now they are facing a lawsuit which seeks to shut down the club permanently, as well as prevent them from using and operating the property in the future. LA City Attorney Mike Furrer called the club a hub for violence after it was the site of multiple shootings, assaults, and criminal activities. Allegedly, the nightclub was being advertised on social media as a secret venue that offered pole dancing, music, hookah, performances, and a bar. If underground parties and clubs are the fire, then social media is the gasoline that lights it. It's surprising to see just how comfortable some venues are at sharing their in-person events. But what is even more surprising is how frivolous people are in sharing what they're doing online. Twitter accounts who are dedicated to ousting influencers who are egregiously ignoring COVID safety rules show shocking videos of massive crowds at house parties, sometimes even reaching as high as 600 people in attendance. Additionally, the entire internet was shocked when Blueface shared his wild LA COVID party on his Instagram story. The rapper has been living it up in his house with strippers since the start of the pandemic, but after his most not suitable for work party was shared online, he got everyone thinking that we are never getting out of this lockdown. However, LILDEATHSTAR feels like if people are so worried about being quarantined forever, then we should just shut everything down.
Okay, let's say I stop partying, cool. I'm still going out to do my groceries. I'm still going out to, do whatever I got to do on a daily basis. So it's like, I feel like people just want to find something to put the blame on. And we're the easiest group of people to put the blame on. When there's regular people going out doing regular things, if you leave your house, you're putting yourself at risk. So technically not one single soul should leave the house. Why do we got to stop partying? Everyone else is going out, doing laundry, going getting food, all types of stuff. So it's like, I feel like it's just kind of like, if you want us to stop partying, you kind of have to have everyone to stop doing everything.
There's been a lot of Twitter accounts dedicated to putting those parties on blast. Have you received any pushback from any of your audience or, fans that are like, why are you partying up in the hills on Halloween with, crowds of people? Have you received any pushback?
I felt more pushback about when I announced that I was moving to LA. People were like, especially back east, were like, yo, it's terrible out there, it's bad out there. And it's just like, people naturally will cast their fears and doubts upon you, no matter what you do. If you want to be anything in life, people will naturally, instinctively cast their fears and doubts upon you. So it's just like, I could either listen to people's doubts and fears, or I could just go out and experience it myself and see what's really out there, instead of just talking about what's out there.
It is true that the government's mishandling of the COVID stay-at-home orders has perpetuated and has forced a lot of people and businesses into a spot that will be extremely hard to recover from financially, even when the world does open up again. But these parties certainly aren't helping. According to Dr. Fauci, though, with vaccinations, more testing, and advancement in treatment, he anticipates that we could be getting our lives back together in crowds as early as fall of this year. But still, that reality is dependent on how many people are going to continue to follow COVID safety protocols, as well as how many people are even going to agree to take the vaccine. In today's conspiracy-prone era, there is already a lot of doubt and fear surrounding it.
I just feel like there's ill intentions behind it, because it's like, if you have COVID and then you take the vaccine, they're just putting COVID back in you anyways. And I don't know, I do believe that they're trying to chip people, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't even want to talk about it.
Unfortunately, if we've learned anything over the last 10 months during this pandemic, it's that people are going to do what they want to do, even when innocent people's lives are at stake. What are your guys' thoughts on this, on the underground parties and the vaccine? Sound off in the comment section below. And as always, for more of your news, keep it locked to Complex News on YouTube. For Complex, I'm Natasha Martinez.